I don't know about you, but this spring feels very metaphorical to me. Coming out of the dead of winter into a vibrant spring is always exciting, but I think this year it just holds extra meaning. Coming out of a dark time like the pandemic always yields something to be said about creativity. What are you going to make, and how are you going to respond? I got a text from one of my friends, Drew Garrison, and he said, "Hey man, let's go shoot. Let's just get out." And I don't know about you, but for some reason it takes me a while to agree to something like that because I kind of lose the mystique of places close by.
It's really early. Aspen woke me up at like 1:30, 1:20, 1:30. And then, you know how like it is when you set an alarm, you're gonna go out for a really early shoot and you can't go back to sleep. Like I probably slept for another 20 minutes and then laid awake, trying to go back to sleep, of course. But like at that point, what are you gonna do? Woke up at 3, finally just was like, I'm just gonna make coffee and hit the road. So got out here, a 3-hour drive to get to this location, but I honestly like can't complain. You know how it gets when it's fall. You get excited about fall color. Winter, is there a lot to shoot? Nah, kind of, not too much where I live, but spring is when you get that rejuvenation feeling and you get really excited about shooting again and having fun doing it. So first shoot of the spring really, besides macro stuff around my house, and I'm excited to get going and hit the trails.
Whenever I head into this location, I never really know what to expect because there's not current trail reports coming from it. I've been there when there's vibrant wildflowers and gushing water out of the waterfall, but I've also been there when it's completely dead, uninteresting, and just a very small trickle of water. It's kind of exciting not knowing what you're gonna find when you come around the bend, but as you hike down this hill, down these rocks that are kind of like stairs, and then you go to the river and you hike through that bend, you turn this corner and it's amazing to see how much water is forcibly gushed down the waterfall. And when you see it for the first time coming around this corner, you start to see all the compositions that you can find. The triangular rocks, the rectangular patterns that occur in the waterfall, the options of different exposures that you have in the waterfall. And it's always inspiring to go here. And I think it's worth it to get here on the first shoot of the year.
The time change definitely got me. I got out here, I thought I had like an hour and a half to scout out the right compositions and get the shots. But the second I put my camera right here, I noticed that the shadow, the skyline shadow, the horizon line was like creeping closer and closer towards the waterfall that's behind me back there. And as I saw it coming closer, I was noticing glare on the corner of my lens, and I was having to put my hand up and rush to get the different compositions because pretty soon that sun is gonna pop over that horizon line and kind of get rid of the grand shot scenes that you get here. Because, you know, when you get that coming in, it's gonna reflect and refract off of those water mist droplets that are really hitting and getting into this grand waterfall scene. And I actually, like, split-second decision, I didn't have time to film it or anything, but took off my boots and socks and waded into the water and got a couple compositions. And they're okay, you know, I've shot that kind of stuff before here. But the stuff that I really enjoy doing is the kind of like detail waterfall shots that you can get even after the sun continues to come up, because it's actually gonna rise. This waterfall faces east, so it faces towards the sunrise. So as that comes up, I may have till I don't know, maybe even 11 o'clock, because this ledge over the waterfall is so sharp and such a sharp drop that I may have shadow on the waterfall to get those small, intimate detail shots that I want to get well on into the day. So that's probably what I'm going to do. That's what I like to do anyways, a lot of times with these bigger waterfalls. It's just so much more fun for me to compose and get those tiny little snapshots of things going on within the grand scene.
This shoot was a little bit different than some of the normal ones that I do because I wasn't using my typical Sony a7R II to go shoot. I was using this Fujifilm GFX 50S and I was testing it out, seeing what I could get with this camera and a couple prime lenses. What I started to notice is that the sunlight got really bright up above the horizon of the waterfall, and I found this section of rocks with some vibrant greens and some really subtle highlights and shadows that I photographed in small detail at 1.6 seconds f/16 ISO 200 to bring out a lot of that detail. And I played around with some of the similar settings and some of the other rocks around this location. And I was really happy as to what I was seeing. And as Drew kind of played around in the waterfall in front of me, I kind of thought, what else can I get here? What else can I find in this location? And I started hiking up, climbing up these rocks to get a high perspective down on the lower falls that you see in the bottom left corner. And I came away with one of my favorite photographs from the day. And that's this shot, and it's incredible the way the rocks have this sweeping motion and this swirling that leads you back to the waterfall. But you also get that vibrant blue and yellow in the bottom of the water there. So always look for different areas that you can find. Thanks so much for watching today, guys. I can't wait to see you in the next video.